Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality. This Top 10 intro is brought to you by Vector Star Productions. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Items in Smash Bros. Make this fighting franchise original compared to all of the others. Whether you are an item-dependent whore or a professional Smash player that turns off items the instant you start the game, it's always a fun time using a Final Smash or nailing a KO with a Homerun Bat. In the past 3 games, we've seen a lot of awful items, a lot of great items, and a few that are in between. This list is all about the best of the best. Please note that I will not be including the fan on this list because of how outrageously cheap it is. So without further ado, let's go! This item has been modified after every game, and it just seems to get better and better. The bumper is incredibly useful for a number of reasons. Let's say someone is trying to recover from a hit, and they can only survive with the ledge grab. With the bumper, you can simply throw it onto the edge. The original game allows you to throw the bumper only on the ground. Melee's version allows it to be thrown in the air, while Brawl's version is superior and allows for both methods of defense. The only negative about this item is that it can affect everybody, even the person that threw it. If you're playing naughty and cheap with the bumper, just remember that karma is a bitch, and this item can easily bite you back in the ass. When you first see this item, you know that you're in for a good time. If you ever wanted to shoot fireworks at your buddies, this is the item for you. At first, the cracker launcher appears to be just like any other gun in the game, but the way you control it is incredibly unique. Not only can you run and jump while using it, but you can also aim which direction to shoot at. While this can be very useful, it's also a little tricky to pull off strategically. Another problem is, just turning. You're supposed to push hard and fast on the joystick to turn, but that can be a hassle if everyone on the screen is moving around faster than a kid chasing down the ice cream truck. And you know, I think this was actually a very good and accurate analogy. Yay! Number 8. For those that were 90s kids and owned the Super Scope as an accessory for the SNES, did you ever imagine that it would be used in a video game? If I had owned an SNES, I sure as hell wouldn't have. This is simply a great gun to have, and it's unique because you can fire shots in 2 different ways. The first kind is just shooting bullets rapidly and just being an average noob. The second kind is charging up the shot and releasing a big blast that actually causes some real damage to opponents. Basically, you obtain Samus's charge shot with this gun. In Melee, hitting someone with a charged blast was particularly tricky because you couldn't move while using this weapon. In Brawl's version, you can move and jump around while firing a charged shot. And while that makes it a little easier to hit someone with it, it's not nearly as satisfying as it is in Melee. And besides, even with the freedom of moving and jumping in Brawl, you aren't allowed to turn around while shooting, so it's still challenging to hit someone. Number 7. And here's where I might get some controversy for this list. The heart container heals 100% of your health, aside from the original game where it heals all of your health, and is seen as very cheap by most people. You know, I can agree that it is cheap at times, but let's be honest here. This item barely comes up in matches in the first place, and you have to face the fact that it is an incredibly useful item and can even increase your chances in KOing someone. If you have over 100% more damage than someone else, picking one of these up gives you a much better chance at surviving, which can in turn balance out the match. Now, that may also not make sense, but if a player simply isn't that good at the game, the heart container can make the game more adaptable. So sometimes this can be used as a noob item, but it comes up so little in matches that I really don't think it should count as one. Number 6. The wonderful, magnificent Homerun Bat. I must ask Nintendo this though. Why did you change the look of the Homerun Bat for the upcoming Smash game? I thought it looked fine the way it was? Anyway, this item is simply awesome and is useful for throwing and hitting home runs. Throwing this item like it's a ninja star not only looks awesome, but packs quite the punch too. Striking someone with a charged hit is one of the most satisfying things you can do in Smash Bros, if not the most satisfying thing. I don't know what it is about nailing someone with an expertly timed hit, Maybe it's the screeching sound that comes from the impact, the crowd screaming every time, instantly afterwards, or if it's just the fact that it's an automatic death. Unless you're playing on some stupid custom stage where it's nearly impossible to die on. One thing I have noticed is that throughout each game, it takes longer and longer for the bat to charge up. I don't know why that is, but I wonder if I could hit something that hard in real life and get applause like that in the game.
Number 5.
Oh man, is this item crazier than it looks. The green shell is one of the deadliest things to use and get hit by in Smash Bros. A simple throw can send a player flying, even if their percentage is low. Oftentimes, you'll have no idea which direction your opponent will go with the impact. The green shell does as it pleases. Even when this item is jumped on and is barely moving, it can send opponents to their death with just a simple touch. I really don't understand the logic in that, but whatever. It is what it is.
Number 4.
If you thought the hammer was a great item, oh man, were you in for a treat when Brawl came around with the Golden Hammer. For some reason, the color gold makes everything better, and that's rightfully so for this item. Not only are the strikes for the Golden Hammer much more powerful than the ones for the regular hammer, but you can actually levitate in the air if you mash your attack button fast enough. This item is so epic that when it shows up, a special little platform comes with it, as well as a little jingle. When you obtain the Golden Hammer, a neat little NES tune simply titled Power Up Music plays just to let everyone know that you're about to wreck some shit. Upon doing research on the Golden Hammer's origin, I just realized that this Golden Hammer is even more awesome than it already appears to be. It comes from an NES game called Wrecking Crew. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a very obscure Mario game where you destroy certain objects with a hammer, and sometimes you can get a golden hammer to demolish things faster. Pretty neat, huh?
Number 3.
So many character requests, so little time. Nintendo found a solution to this problem with a wonderful item titled the Assist Trophy. Ever wanted to see Waluigi or Shadow the Hedgehog or Lekatu in Smash? With this item, now you can. The Assist Trophy is pretty much the same thing as the Pokeball, except that there's a much larger variety of what will come out. They have characters from games as obscure as Sin and Punishment, Advance Wars, Devil World, Drill Dozer, and much more. I have noticed that compared to the Pokeball, there seems to be more characters that are just flat out annoying. Tingle does practically nothing to change the fight except for the hammers. The devil moves the camera around and makes it hard to see what you're doing, and the stupid Nintendog is trying to lick my face while I'm playing the game. The problem with this dog is that I can't push it away like I can in real life. The dog just won't go away. Now, of course, there are plenty of great assist trophies like Cat Nana, Waluigi, and Andross, but still.
Number 2.
I can see a lot of you guys swapping out this item with the assist trophy, but it really just depends on the person's taste. I personally prefer the Pokeball over the assist trophy, but only because there seems to be more useful Pokemon than assist trophy characters. I really don't need to go out to explain what a Pokemon does, do I? You throw the ball, a Pokemon comes out and fights for you. Bam! I have noticed that whenever I play Brawl and use a Pokeball, I almost always get a stupid Goldeen. I don't know why, but it's very irritating. So now, the best item on this list is quite literally the most obvious number 1 for any countdown to ever exist of all time. And that item is...
And now, the number 1 best Smash Bros. Item is...
Mr. Saturn. Is a piece of garbage, screw that item. The Smash Ball is quite possibly one of the most epic items ever. It's the best item in Smash Bros, the best item any fighting game has ever offered, and pretty much any game ever made. It's an event simply obtaining the Smash Ball. You have to smash it enough times to obtain its power. Every character does something different, aside from the clone characters, and almost all of them are a feast to use. When else would you be able to play as Giga Bowser, shoot a storm of fireballs, trap someone with the Triforce, or summon Centurions from the sky to attack your opponents? That's right, no other games offers that package all in one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why this item is number 1. So, what is your favorite item in Smash Bros? Did you like or hate my list, and why? Leave a comment and tell me. I'll respond to as many of you as I can. Next month's top 10 is going to make a lot of the old subscribers especially happy, and hopefully the new ones too. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a fantabulous morning, day, and night.